At least we're smiling now. Okay. Welcome to Bell to Bell. Today we have Mr. Jimmy Frederick Jr. You may see him walking the halls of Jones Sr., doing his WIOA business and handling business. Now let's welcome him to the show. Welcome him to class. Mr. Jimmy Frederick Jr., everybody.
What's good? What's going on, good people? How y'all?
All right, we're good. I hope they're good out there. We like to start with a bell ringer, try to throw you a little curveball. Right. So a little birdie told me that you are almost the star of one of my favorite Denzel movies, Remember the Titans. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
All right, so to deal with that, what it was, they were filming Remember the Titans close to Clinton, which was in Wilmington. And the job that I was working at the time, which was Schindler Elevator Company, the owner or someone that was there, they pretty much had got wind that they were doing casting calls down in Wilmington, and they was looking for, guys, former football players, high school, things like that, early 20s, that could be an extra. And so I was really wanting to be a part of that movie. I had asked my parents, they said it was cool, but I was not able to get off on the day that they were having the casting call. And so
that job.
I'm like, for real. So I'm telling you, I was this close, definitely this close to being in Remember the Titans. And, but anyway, hopefully I'll be able to, make up for it in starring in, I do believe, episode 3 of Deja Fulmore's crossover, that we'll be filming in a couple of months.
Jones Senior alumni, Deja Fulmore.
Yeah.
Crossover on YouTube. Maybe I'll put a link here, but maybe I won't because I don't know if it's school appropriate or not. So, yeah, that's a bad miss, man. That's like top 5 football movie.
Yeah, definitely top 5.
Disney, Denzel. I mean, but with your look and persona, they might have just moved Denzel right out of there and been like, you know what, this guy's going to be Coach Boone.
I mean, you talking about Training Day. You talking about, Glory Inside Man. You talking about, Malcolm X. I mean, so many great films that he's done, man. I'll just be glad I could just, just see him.
All right. Well, let's move on to our essential questions. And first one is always easy, just to tell us a little bit about yourself besides your Hollywood aspirations and how you came to work for this program at Jones Senior.
Basically, man, I've been involved in career development, for quite a while. Actually, probably about the past 10 years. I spent 8 years down in WorkSource East in Goldsboro as a printing instructor. I'm working there and helping young people, young adults be able to carve out career paths, being able to get some type of job training and placement. And actually, February, early February this year, there was a job fair that took place here, and I was invited to actually speak. I was actually invited to teach a small portion in marketing class with Mr. Brandon Joyner. And so later that day, I was able to present, some information in regards to, a company that I have, which is Clarity to Designs, which, we do graphics and things like that, website development, web development, things like that. And so, there was an opening here at Jones Senior. And, I had, caught wind that, possibly what I've been doing, I would have an opportunity to do here. And so I was like, hey, let's check it out. I was definitely drawn to Jones Senior while I was here in February. And I was like, man, and I really felt like that, okay, this is not going to be my last time here. I really felt like that, I really felt like, man, there's going to be a whole boomerang thing that's going to happen. And I was like, man, you know what? I really feel like that, there's going to be more for me to do here. And so I applied, man, and the rest is history. So here I am.
All right. Growing up, who were some of your favorite teachers and how did they influence your teaching style and your kind of educational philosophy?
Definitely the late great Deborah Warren. She was my first grade teacher, and she was one of the first ones that really showed me that teachers really cared outside of the classroom setting. She was one of the ones that really cared. I mean, she was like an extension of my mom. I mean, she was like that teacher that, she literally would go out of her way to make sure her students had what they needed, even if you were not in the classroom setting. And I mean, she was just phenomenal. The way she conveyed information, the way she was able to teach, the way she, just fostered this whole family dynamic, even in the classroom. Everybody else, your fellow students, they were pretty much like your brothers and sisters,
Hmm.
and she created a culture like that in the classroom. And so she, I mean, and I know that's first grade, but I mean, that's stuff that's imparted into you early. And so she definitely has influenced the way I teach in terms of really having a paternal, maternal
Hmm.
aspect to students. Secondly, definitely um, the late great Joanne Williford. She was my fifth grade teacher. Man, I mean, I was really being a knucklehead in fifth grade, um, but I mean, she was really one that really wanted to see me do well, and so I mean, she was awesome. And then lastly, I would say, I mean, and now I've had great teachers, y'all. I mean, I really did, but my homeroom teacher in high school, and I had her all 4 years, Miss Willie Harriet, and she was my family consumer science teacher. And I mean, she taught me how to iron in a scholastic standpoint, academic standpoint, how to iron, how to fold clothes, how to, just life skills, and a lot of these kids, they really don't get that, man,
Hmm.
and so, I mean, I really feel like that's why, Miss Blackwell is so, so valuable,
Sure.
because a lot of these kids are just missing just life skills, and so I would say those three teachers are probably, um, I gotta throw one more in there. I really do. I would say Mr. Holmes. He was my seventh grade homeroom teacher, and he was the first African American teacher that I had. And
Hmm.
he really showed me that, okay, an African American male can do this and make it in this profession. And so I would say those four will be my Mount Rushmore of teachers.
Beautiful. Okay, so now you're working for the WIOA program, and can you tell the audience what exactly that program does?
WIOA is a federally funded program which stands for Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. And we basically help students who may face various barriers or whatever life circumstances and situations. We basically help them have access to a wide range of resources, a wide range of tools and things that to help them carve out a career path. We don't want to wait until they graduate. We don't want to wait until they're 25 to then try to decide what they want to do. No shade in that, but we want to start as young as 14, and really at least helping them to be aware or present some options so that they can start projecting, they can start reaching, they can start targeting these things, and so man, I'm telling you, man, we do confidence building, character building, soft skills, teaching them how to not just get employment,
Hmm.
but keep employment
And to be a good employee.
and to be a good employer. You know what I mean? You know, that type of stuff, teaching them character skills, confidence, you know, affirmation. I mean, we spent the whole month of August just dealing with affirmation, just really building up these kids. You never know what they've gone through. You never know what kind of living condition they're dealing with, what kind of family condition that situation they have to deal with. So, you're going to get, I mean, a smorgasbord of content, a smorgasbord of good stuff, in the WIOA program. So yeah, man, that's just a gist of what we do.
And I've been in the county over 10 years, and when you see the kids enter the program, their confidence shoots up. I mean, it's I don't want to say they didn't have a purpose beforehand, but they walk more with a purpose, and just with that confident that they know that they can support themselves and they know that they can do what they put their mind to. So I'm a big fan of the program.
Exactly. I mean, because I know the other week I was talking to one of my WIA students about tax deductions and when
Mhm.
you get paid, what you make may not be exactly what you bring home, and just really helping him to realize, okay, they may take out this, you're gonna have to account for that,
Mhm.
that type of thing. And so, and it's definitely caused me to be able to, reach and just kind of get them the level of these kids and help them to understand that, hey, there is greatness inside of me. And so, a matter
Mhm.
of fact, that's our theme for this year is discovering greatness. That I know Jones County is small, but there's some big things in the people in Jones County. So,
Excellent. And lastly, this year has been different. So what has been the hardest thing about teaching during this pandemic? And then we'll get to, has there been any benefits to this new style of teaching we're having to do?
I would say probably my biggest challenge is, I guess, trying to juggle, trying to deal with how to move in virtual space as opposed to your normal academic real estate that you have in class. I'm more of a traditionalist when
Mhm.
it comes to teaching styles. I'm personable. I like to see people's faces, reactions, gestures, body language, in real time, on site, but then, you kind of have this dynamic where you have to use, like I said, you have to utilize the virtual space and you're having to juggle and having to deal with, those who are virtual and those who are on site. Now, also, I think for a challenge for me as well as other teachers is having to deal with this level of indifference that seems to be impacting a lot of our kids to where they feel like that just because I'm home, just because I'm virtual, just because I'm on a computer, then I don't have to give it my best effort. I don't have to give 100%. Okay, so you just kind of have this nonchalant approach to academics, and I even told my son, which is 16. He just turned 16 in November. He's a sophomore at CBA Cog in Pikeville. I told him that you have a challenge. Your friends, your peers, you hear a lot of noise on social media, even those around you, to where they feel, and there's this narrative out there to cause you to feel like that academics isn't important. um and so I said, well, where you're trying to go and the moves you're trying to make, you're definitely going to have to contend with that. You're going to have to contend with all of the naysayers, and you have to deal with those narratives that are basically trying to discourage you from giving your best effort in your academics.
All right. And any benefits that you've found through this style?
Definitely, I say one benefit is learning how to adapt.
Mhm. Good
You
point.
and getting out of our comfort zone. I think a lot of times we can get stale, we can get stagnant, we can become so rigid in just doing something one way that it has definitely cultivated our ability to be innovative. Um, and so us being able to step out of our comfort zone and to still be able to engage these students, I definitely believe that's definitely a benefit.
All right. And really quickly, why is WIAO and the CTE program the most important program for the campus and community?
Because I definitely believe that it gives most of these kids just a great trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the areas that is really lacking in this culture is, like I said, life skills,
Mm-hmm.
and just, trades, you know, trades and things like that. And it's those areas, areas from a career standpoint, not just a career standpoint, but also independent living, that is WIOA and CTE, where it matters the most. So, you know, anybody can, you can make a case that, anybody can go to college, but, college may not be for everybody.
Exactly.
And CTE, WIOA definitely carves out paths and kind of trailblaze the thought that, okay, I can still be successful even if I don't go to ECU. I can still be successful if I don't go to state. I can learn a trade. I can lay bricks. I can be an electrician. And still be productive and still be a valuable asset in my city, in my community,
Mm-hmm.
just like the one that does go to college. Nothing wrong with college. I went to a college.
I
you
went
know?
but I still wish I had taken those vocational courses and had a little bit more knowledge
Yeah.
of these things and could fix things around my house instead of having to call people
You see
that
what I'm saying?
make a lot more money than I do to fix
Yeah,
them.
I was trying to tell you, so it's definitely those things that make, CTE and WIOA, I would say the premier. So, knock on wood.
Ooh, Miss Lee is going to quote you on that one. All right. So that's all of our essential questions. We got a special section. When it's the end of the day and all you want to do is get to your car and get home, you tend to get stopped by
Yeah.
so many weird questions. So I'm here to stop you with weird questions, and it's your job to see how fast you can get to your car.
All right.
All right. And we have a Christmas bonus round because this is going up to be our Christmas episode, which is why I wore
All
my
right. Okay. I can dig it.
So we'll do the normal, and then I've got some bonus Christmas questions.
All right.
All right. Favorite teams in the following leagues: NBA.
Lakers. I've been a Lakers fan since 1996. Not planning to change.
NFL.
Carolina Panthers. We're not doing well, but we'll get it together.
We're long suffering. And MLB.
Yankees all day. Yes, sir. Yep.
You and my dad, I swear. All right. You mentioned graphic design. What program do you prefer when you're doing graphic design?
The big three: Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesign.
All right. I only knew two of those, so I need you to sit down with me, especially with Illustrator. I need to learn that. And do you have a favorite piece that you've created?
Man, my body of work goes back quite a few years, so I really don't have a favorite piece. Actually, my favorite piece is actually not designed on a computer; it's actually painted because I had to deal in fine arts in college, but I actually had to paint a triptych. I think it's called a triptych. It's a 3-part panel.
Panels?
Yeah, that's it. I had to draw. I had to pretty much do a 3-part panel of my life, and it was it went into my senior exhibition, and I think you know what, I'm gonna have to find that picture of that trip, man. It'll blow you away.
I need you to find it tonight, so then I can put it like.
There you go.
All right, favorite Autobot.
Favorite Autobot will like the new the new Transformers, or like the old school.
I'm an 80s kid, so I defer to the 80s Transformers, but you can pick whomever.
Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm an 80s guy. I've always, believe it or not, I've always been a jazz guy.
Wow.
In terms of the first generation Transformers, Optimus Prime has always been that dude. I mean, he's leader's leader.
You can't go wrong with him.
Now in Transformers the movie, I did like Optimus Prime whenever he stepped up and accepted that matrix of leadership.
How about that being one of the most traumatic parts of my childhood to see? Not only
Optimus Prime turned gray, man.
That was the part that he died, yes, and then they just grayed him out, and I'm like,
I was like, What are we gonna do?
That was cartoons when we were young, guys, to just kill the main
What are
character.
we doing? You know, and so I thought Ultra Magnus, I thought he was gonna take it up, you know, but he won't really. He wasn't really the guy, but yeah, definitely. And Transformers Generation One, those three.
And
Um,
favorite Decepticon, real quick.
favorite Decepticon has always been Soundwave.
Thank you, my guy.
The most
I still have
loyal
my original toy that's falling apart.
dude. I mean, the most loyal. I mean, and he carried, you know, the other ones.
Cassettes.
Yeah, you know, Megatron, attack. You know, he was just loyal. He never left his side.
And I always had a soft spot for Starscream, but definitely Soundwave was my favorite.
Yeah, Soundwave. Yeah, no doubt.
Go to candy bar.
I would have to say Crunch, Nestle's Crunch. Yeah, favorite candy bar, Nestle Crunch. Now it's Nestle Crunch will probably be 1A, 1B will probably have to be the Almond Hershey's.
All right.
Almond Hershey's.
Would you rather blow up 100 balloons or have to lick 100 envelopes?
I would rather blow up 100 balloons. That is nasty. That glue is, oh man, I can't.
Would you what comic would you like to have seen made into a movie?
I know they probably had some discussions about this. So I'm probably going to say Moon Knight.
I think it's in the plans.
I think it's in development. I would love to see X-Men House of M.
Okay.
Be in there. Or possibly, or maybe like just focus on Magneto.
A Magneto movie standalone.
Magneto standalone. That would be pretty cool.
Played by Denzel.
You know what? I saw that might be a possibility. He would really be a cool Magneto. They could actually, you know what? They can actually work in the whole social injustice type of narrative.
Well, I mean, when it was first set up, people think comics are kiddie things, but you had the Professor X as like the Martin Luther King figure, and Magneto was kind of the Malcolm X figure. Yeah. And mutant was just code for racial inequality at that point when you were writing.
Yeah. And I definitely would love to see Silver Surfer too as well.
Oh, done well.
Yeah.
We're gonna forget those Fantastic Four movies ever existed.
Please, they're trash.
All right. And so since we're on this kick, why were the 80s the best decade?
It was just so authentic. You can get your point across with just some pen, ink, and some paint. You know, it was just real organic, close to the original, the classic type stuff. In terms of movies and television, I mean, even the television was, you know, it was focused on the family, focused on, you know, a lot of your sitcoms were, you know, family oriented, that type of thing. The toys were unforgettable.
G.I. Joe still, like, I get excited.
I mean, even the video game market, like the whole Nintendo versus like Sega Genesis, all that type of stuff. That was just, I mean, dude,
wild time. You think you can't find a PS5? That's important now.
Yeah.
You know, think back to the Genesis versus Nintendo battle, and then come talk to us about a PS5.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Definitely the greatest. I do believe one of the best eras.
All right. Which character from The Office do you most connect with?
Jim.
All right. Mr. Halpert?
Jim. Yeah, definitely Jim. Now, even though I feel like I connect with him the best, he is not my favorite character on The Office. Dwight, by far. Dwight.
You want to do your best Jim Halpert into the camera real quick?
I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even do it. Dude, man, me and my wife, man, we've binge watched The Office like 10, 11 seasons. I mean, like time straight. But
I'll be watching it, and my wife comes in, and she's like, "Is that Idris Elba?" I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "Is that Kathy Bates?" I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "The show was amazing."
He was up there. That's right.
I'm like, he went from Stringer Bell to working at Dunder Mifflin.
That's right. Dunder Mifflin, people, persons, paper, people.
All right. What is one question you wish people would ask more?
What is my purpose?
To themselves, or they want to know what your purpose is?
If they're
Either way.
if they're asking, if it's a question that they're asking themselves, what is my purpose?
Okay.
And then I mean, I guess that could be given to me
Sure.
as well, either one. But
you get a certain age and nobody asks you what your favorite dinosaur is anymore, and it just makes me sad.
yeah. Now mine was
Don't say the one I'm thinking of.
mine was Triceratops.
Okay, Allosaurus, just for future reference. And lastly, before the Christmas questions, first I want to congratulate you on your anniversary.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
And,
Yes.
What would be your best relationship advice for new couples?
Best relationship advice is do not be with someone just for you to live with.
Okay.
Find someone you can war with. Find someone you can grow with. Find someone that you can do life with. Find someone that you can that'll help you. That will help push you in purpose. And also be patient.
Mm-hmm.
Be patient with your spouse's process. I think a lot of times in this fast-paced culture, we're not nearly as patient as we really need to be. Now the Lord is patient with us, but we're not nearly as patient as we are with other people.
Okay, but we fall short of
Yes,
the goal. So our patience isn't always there.
right.
All right, Christmas bonus round. I know we're running long and you got to work, but if you're walking down the street, you're feeling great. What's that holiday song that's playing in the background?
Believe it or not, it is the Christmas song by Nat King Cole.
All right. Favorite Christmas tradition?
Man, it will probably be at least opening one gift on Christmas Eve. At least one.
My wife and I have been trying desperately to give each other the gifts for like a month now, and we have to be like, no.
Right.
What is your favorite Christmas holiday food, and then your least favorite?
Least favorite would probably be fruitcake.
Disgusting.
I don't know who came up with that. Probably my best favorite would probably be I would probably have to say like a honey glazed ham.
Delicious. I don't know. I don't understand why we don't eat turkey and like honey glazed ham more often. Why do we save it just for the holidays?
Right.
Is there a holiday chore that you dread doing?
Taking out all you know what? It used to be putting together all my daughter's like stuff with the tiny pieces, all their toys with the tiny pieces. Couldn't stand it. But I did it. Because I'm a
last
dad.
one, top 3 Christmas movies.
Home Alone.
Great.
What's the one with Ralphie?
Christmas Story.
Christmas Story. And probably I just put that out on Facebook. Why am I going blank?
It's the high pressure bell to bell interview.
Dude. But yeah, Home Alone, Christmas Story, and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Well, you missed Elf, which has got to be in the top 3.
It is in my top 5, but not my top 3.
Top 3 for me. Help settle the debate. Christmas movie or not? Die Hard.
Die Hard is technically a Christmas movie.
Thank you.
But it will probably be in my top 15 because I don't connect it with Christmas because it's action.
It was a Christmas movie, so I'm gonna take that as a win because I have an ongoing feud with people that it is a Christmas movie.
Right.
All right. Well, you made it to the parking lot after a long journey of being stopped by me. Now you can get in your car. You can blast some Nat King Cole on the way home. But before you leave the show, we need your exit ticket. I know you gave us relationship advice already, but this is if you just had this one opportunity to get a message out to the millions and millions of subscribers that I don't have, what would that message be? Your one Jimmy Frederick Jr. message to the world that everybody needs to hear.
Jesus is the reason for the season.
All right. Well, I appreciate you bearing with me through this interview process. Thank you for coming on and volunteering to do this.
Yes, sir.
Please share it. Everybody like and subscribe, and we will see you in the new year. Last episode of the year goes to you, sir.
Oh, I'm honored.
Thank you. Because you like when you were, it would be great, and then all of a sudden you would silhouette out like you were in a witness protection program.
Yeah, I didn't do it.